Ah, my hand, that's hot!
This was hot too!
Okay, we're trapped, everyone for himself! Okay, let's go!
Kevin can afford to buy the bar at the end of the series because he's been insider trading or embezzling money on Dunder Mifflin stock for years.
Well, well, well.
I heard you bought a bar, Kevin?
This one. Now get out.
I cannot comment on that because I was not around in the final seasons, but I can tell you we did an episode, a Casino Night episode early on, where we very casually mentioned that Kevin has a World Series of Poker bracelet because he won a World Series of Poker tournament. And that did start a number of inside jokes, or like, I don't think that most of them ever made it into the show, but just that Kevin had this kind of weird other career/life as like a high-stakes poker player. And then that led to a couple jokes I remember in the room about how he was embezzling money to gamble and to like cover his gambling losses. So yeah. I wasn't around for seasons 6, 7, 8, 9, but I can tell you that the idea of Kevin being a poker player / slightly loose with the numbers in order to cover his poker losses, that was discussed in the room.
Michael!
Oh, God! Dwight, come on!
Wanted to talk to you about the downsizing.
The company that owns the camera crew, or the company that is working on this documentary, is buying paper to keep the Scranton branch alive.
I don't know if anyone discussed that after I left, but I never heard that one. I love it, though. I wish it were true. I wish we had had that idea. I think that sounds really funny, that their livelihood is now tied to the livelihood of the company. The theory, I think, would be that the documentary crew is the documentary is being run by like the child of some, oil baron, and they're like, and the documentary was into like, year 7 or something, and the billionaire parent of this kid was like, "What the hell have you been doing with my money?" And then that kid was like, "I need you to, don't worry, it's gonna come out. The documentary will come out, but you need to start purchasing paper to keep the company afloat, just so I can finish my documentary."
The reason I like that one is because throughout the series, they're always like,
So listen, Michael, your branch have been doing great lately, and your sales staff is reporting very strong numbers. What are you doing right?
And Michael doesn't have that answer, and he
right,
says,
yes.
Sometimes I just start a sentence and I try to figure out where it's going to go by the end of it. It would make sense if that was the case. Bob Vance of Vance Refrigeration understands free advertising. When he says Bob Vance, Vance Refrigeration,
Kevin Malone.
Bob Vance, Vance Refrigeration. Stanley Hudson. Bob Vance, Vance Refrigeration.
Ryan Howard.
Bob Vance, Vance Refrigeration.
When he introduces himself to everybody, he is marketing to the cameras and getting free television advertisement.
Oh, I think that's absolutely true, but I would also say our idea of him was always that that's how he introduced himself to everyone. That if he met you at a cocktail party and there were no cameras rolling, or if he met you on the street, no matter where, he just always, that's what he said. That was based on a friend of mine named Hayes MacArthur, who's an actor. And when Hayes MacArthur met you, no matter who you were or where you were, he would introduce himself as Hayes MacArthur, Chicago, Illinois, because he was from Chicago. And it always made me laugh. He would say, Hayes MacArthur, Chicago, Illinois. And I would say, "Do you know my friend Hayes?" Says Hayes. You go, Hayes MacArthur, Chicago, Illinois. And so Bob Vance, Vance Refrigeration came from Hayes. But I would say that in terms of that theory, I would say that he was extra excited when the camera crews were around, because it was like, this is good for me. He's always advertising himself is the idea. And now he gets to do it on TV. So I think he was probably extra happy.